All right, good afternoon everyone. Today I figured I would make a little video of the things I've been thinking about, which is these track brake spoilers, for lack of a better term. They direct the air. They're larger than the little tiny one that comes already affixed to the car when you buy it. In this, you also have to replace the really large backsplash shield that keeps water and dirt off the backside of the rotor. Today I've got some help, but before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about safety. You need a good jack. You need a low profile jack probably to make it easier to lift this car. And you need a jack stand placed intelligently, because any jack can fail on you. So we like everybody to be alive and having fun and driving fast and being safe. So today I have a lovely assistant who is going to help me. She's going to video. I've already taken all this apart and tried to figure it all out because, you know, I don't edit my videos. So the first thing we're going to do, just like you'll do, is once you obtain your package from your trunk with your special track day brake cooling components, you'll remove your 7/8 lug nut from your wheel. Actually, you'll remove 5. You'll take off your wheel, and it becomes my seat. The next thing we'll do is we will use our Torx driver, which I don't know what size it is because it's not like it's marked, but use a Torx driver that fits this little nut here on your rotor, right? Set that aside because you'll want to put that back when you're done. On the back of the caliper, there are 2 large bolts. You take the bolts out using a 13/16 ratchet, probably a 1/2 inch, because you need all the leverage and help you can get. They're massive and there's not much room to work, unless you're lucky enough to have some air tools, and I am not. Everything I've had is broken over the years. Anyway, so we've got this massive caliper now that needs to come off, and we've got to take the big bolt out of the back here, which I have already taken apart before, I promise you. It's coming. Almost got it. Okay, there it is. So you take out those 2 bolts. I rigged up a nice little hook here on my suspension so that I could hang this caliper up and keep it so that it's not hanging its full weight. It probably weighs 20 pounds. And you don't want to stretch or break or put undue pressure on your brake line. Once you get that hung up out of the way, take your rotor off. Once you got your rotor off, you can see this plate here has 3 of these 10mm bolts. Take that off. Now, GM warns not to drive with these like this all the time, because in a lot of places up north or in Canada, where you guys get lots of precipitation and lots of varying temperatures throughout the year, as well as water and ice, salt and things like that can destroy the brake linings and stuff like that. So this is a track day only setup, what I'm doing right now. So set this aside. You're going to want to use it when you go back to your normal stock setup. Next thing you want to do is this little air directional, we'll call it a spoiler or an air chute. It takes the air from the grill, directs it like this at the back side of the rotor, which it can't do very well because that shield is in the way, that splash shield is in the way. This also isn't very large, so while I'm sure it does a good job, the larger one's going to be a bit more efficient. So take that off and set it to the side. I'm not sure how fond I am of these screws, but they are what they are, I guess, because I haven't researched into replacing them with anything beefier. So anyway, you'll know you're using the right air deflector or air dam or spoiler because it's marked with an LH for left hand. You'll position those same 3 screws in the same place you'll tighten them down. Now, I'm not going to force you to watch me tightening these all down for the sake of time and the video, but to do these, you need a 7mm socket. They seem awfully long and a little clumsy, and that doesn't feel good. So maybe I'll start with another one. Well, anyway, be careful with these bolts. I will wrestle with them off camera because I don't know why they're kind of difficult to put in. They're easy to take off. So, oh, okay. Well, this one's going in pretty well, so we'll get one in for you, okay? But there's 3 of these. Put those in. You can see that this piece of plastic is going to be a lot more efficient at directing airflow onto the back of that rotor. All right, so now that you've got that in place, and we'll pretend I put all 3 in there. Next, we'll use this tomahawk-shaped little tiny shield. And what the shield does is protects the control arm, the knuckle, probably from the intense heat that's expected during track day when you're racing. So you've got 2 bolts going back on this. Now, me personally, you can do what you want. And you can judge me for this next move if you want to. But, by the way, the reason why I'm taking so much time to turn all these in by hand is because this is aluminum we're screwing into. And we don't want to tear anything up or cross-thread anything. This extra bolt up here at the top, I don't want to lose it or be missing it or anything like that. I don't want any dirt inside these threads either. So what am I going to do with the bolt? I'm going to thread it back in to the hole from whence it came. I'm going to make sure I put a little bit of tension on it so it stays in there. We don't want it on the track. We don't want it in our tire. Okay? I can tell you, when I took this apart, these bolts were pretty much hand tight. They were not very tough. They were not very tough to get off at all. The last time this was taken apart it was in a factory. So if GM didn't think it should be on there tight, neither do I. From here, like I said, the only thing we're going to do is we're going to put our rotor back on. Now, in this install, it also says that you should remove this air dam from the front of the car, and you can certainly do that. There's 3 bolts. I am not going to remove them for the purpose of this video. That's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to leave those there. Next, you'll just put this back in. You use your Torx driver to get that back on there. Get it pretty tight. Can't go wrong. Take your caliper. Put your massive, man, I tell you what, these are absolutely the biggest calipers I have ever seen on any car. Try and get it back on there without having to. So, put your 2 bolts back in on the back. Just like that. And of course I'm going to clean all this too. I'm also going to scrub both the back sides of my rims while I've got all this apart and get all the road dirt and stuff off. Stuff that I always procrastinate about when I wash the car. And that's basically it. remember the tools I told you about, the 13/16 to take off the caliper, the 7mm socket to take those 3 out of that air spoiler, the Torx wrench you'll need to take off that this bolt here on the rotor, the 7/8 socket that you'll need to take off your lug nuts, or if you have a big lug wrench you could use that too. And then get yourself a coat hanger or something so you can hang your caliper up out of the way. I keep everything, so I used this little hook here, and that's what I plan to continue using this for whenever I have to do brakes or anything. I hope that this was useful for you and answers your questions and saves you some time when you decide to do this and decide whether or not it's above or beyond your skill set. So again, make sure you take it off when you're done racing and put back your stock parts so that your parts last a long time for you. Until next time, I hope that you're safe and you continue to enjoy your Camaro.